Welcome to Where It's At, an irregular program about internet communications. In this episode, we interview RayPasquale, CEO of Unified Office. Unified Office provides a trifecta on-premise, private cloud, and public cloud managed VoIP and unified communication services to the SMB market. In addition, Unified Office has integrated IoT solutions into their UC architecture, providing solutions for use cases such as restaurants, resorts, remote patient care, fleet services, and others. Carl and Ray know each other from the days when Ray was a founding member of Sonos. Carl started this interview by asking the question, what is new?
We're quietly entering the telehealth field. We have a offering, I don't know if you recall the hotel phone that we developed a few years ago. We call it, affectionately, it's an in-room concierge. And it really is a tablet with a handset on. We've taken that platform and it's Android underneath the covers. So there's Wi-Fi, low energy Bluetooth, and all the other stuff that goes with it. And we've developed this, we developed software that integrates with, right now we're using Withings, which I can't remember whether Nokia consumed Withings or Withings consumed Nokia, but they came together and they've got several FDA approved devices. The idea is that we're not going into very large hospitals. We're really looking at the mid-tier medical practices,
right?
That can't afford the big Siemens multi-million-dollar platforms. And so we go into a chain of doctors' offices, there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of these wellness clinics, centers now in these amenity hotels. So that's the target market for us initially. And we're putting our concierge in there, and allows the doctor to spin up a video call with a patient. They'll send a kit out, the doctor will, with the approved devices that they wish the remote patient to use. And this is going to be for primarily chronically ill patients that have to check in periodically on a regular basis. This eliminates the need, hopefully, that they have to actually physically go into the doctor's office to transmit routine information. Now, the wellness centers inside these very expensive hotels, the Legacy Hotel that's being built in Miami, for example, we are going to be in there. And they all have several floors dedicated to, I'm not going to say assisted living, that's probably not the right word, but people that have conditions that want to be monitored remotely. And so they'll have these devices in their rooms, and the hotel will supply them. And I don't know what the cost is going to be, whether it's Withings or other devices. We actually don't care, as long as they support, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and they're FDA approved.
Right.
So that all we're doing is integrating video, voice, and now devices, IoT devices, into a single integrated solution, a product. That's precisely what we're doing. So the doctor could say, so for example, we have an endoscope that was given to us by a doctor in Orlando, Lake Nona area. And that was like the first device we got integrated. And what that's going to do is it allows the patient, the doctor to say, hey, Ray, I want you to put that in the corner of your throat for me, please. Okay, move it over a little bit to the right. Okay, you've got some white patches there. Okay, now put it in your ear. Let's examine your eardrum, see if you've got an ear infection. So that's basically what that thing is going to be used for. So that's an easy thing for us to do, and for the doctors to do with their patients. So I think at the end of the day, what the pandemic showed us is it basically created a return to the way doctoring used to be in the old days, when they would either come to your house or they would pick up the phone and actually call you, versus forcing you to go into the office when you're sick, when all you have is an ear infection or something like that. So we forget that that's how doctoring used to be done. We think this is new. The only thing new about this is now we've got video involved.
Right.
Your patient's lungs. Now, you're not going to do this over a VoIP platform that hasn't figured out how to make the damn thing work, right? So that's where we come in with our HQRP platform. Thank God we invented that. I don't know how many years ago now, but that platform is the secret behind everything we were able to do. If we didn't have that, we would never have entered this field. You really have to be reliable, right? That thing is transmitting essential information to a doctor. That has to be high quality. It's got to be highly reliable. you can't afford to go, you know, oh, geez, I lost a couple of pulses on the EKG here. So whole new learning curve for us is, you know, there's these back office systems. They used to, in the old days, it was Telcordia and telephony, as you well know.
Yeah.
And there are equivalents to that that have been out there in a legacy fashion in the medical world as well. So we're just now learning about those things and how we integrate with them or not.
Right.
So yeah, it's early days, but you know, there's a lot of traction. We're getting a lot of early traction, which is good. This is one large thing, but what we're learning from a couple of MSPs that served that market over the years is that some of these, the back office again is the one that's the least likely to change. So you have to adapt to it. We're also going into the smart cities realm, and we're using Lake Nona as a big project for us.
Okay.
Yeah, right now we're working with the autonomous bus system in Lake Nona.
Okay.
And so that, again, that in-room concierge platform that we developed initially to return passive revenue generation to the hotel rooms by letting them sponsor ads that would flip and change to get your attention.
Right.
The guests would not have to use it for it to make money. The very fact that, you know, Burger King or somebody allowed them, you know, you paid the hotel to put that on there, the room is generating money. And we took it one step further. This is pre-pandemic. And we said, okay, that's good, but let's eliminate the need for people to go to the front desk for routine items like toilet paper, towels. Let's have an additional tab where the human can enter what they need, press send. And when I hit send, then our magic software goes to work trying to find locate like the nearest housekeeper or engineer that could service that request. And if it's a room service request for food, we make sure that it never goes on the floor on our POS printer and forgotten about, right? So that whole deterministic algorithms that we allow you to develop as a customer using our WYSIWYG interface. So you can design, drag and drop your own experience. And it's up to you. If you want to lose revenue, you can just send it to the trash.
Right.
But then why would you become a customer Unified Office?
Right.
So at Lake Nona, for example, instead of ads, they're putting the services offered by Lake Nona, the community. You can order the bus to pick you up. You can order the robot to come mow your lawn. You can go to the community calendar that Lake Nona puts out for their residential folks. And so that's early days for us, but at some point we feel we're going to be going into those houses. And Lake Nona will be giving that to you when you purchase property from them. And again, Lake Nona, Tavistock Corporation, why did they pick us? In each of the categories that they, you know, develop for their properties, they want the best of breed in each category.
Right.
And so they discovered us by virtue of our HQRP patented platform and identified Unified Office as the best telecommunications platform for Lake Nona and their other communities that they're developing.
Any advice to other startup guys going on right now?
The biggest thing in this right now for me, if you're a startup company, is make a plan to get to profitability as quickly as possible. Raising money is going to be very, very difficult going forward in this market. Now, some people out there will disagree with me, and that's happened, but I would be loath to try to raise money right now with all the global developments that are happening with Ukraine, Russia, the inflation that we're seeing here, the printing of more money, and the problem that the Fed has got on their hands, which is really a no-win situation. We had to make that decision back in September, October, whether we pursue a break-even strategy as a company or we pursue a growth strategy, which means raising a ton of money and going, you know, hiring a bunch of people. And it's a fight that I always have every day in my head. But looking back then and seeing into the future, between the lockdowns that happen when governments are able to shut businesses down, and that is scary stuff. And then you saw the inflation start to pick up. And so I think you don't want to be out on leverage right now. You certainly don't want to be trying to raise a lot of money. So, I mean, it's not really great advice for a startup, because if you're a startup, you need venture capital. That's the mother's milk But I would raise seed capital and then have a plan to get the profitability quickly. Excellent. All right, Carl.
Okay, pal. Bye-bye.
See ya. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.